bad bull. Bad bull. Hello there. So good afternoon. It's Sunday, February 26th, I think. And we had lots of excitement already this morning on the homestead. Our bull, cold front, managed to get out this morning along with the girls. The girls were easy enough to put back in, but the bull was across the street at the neighbor's house fighting with their bull. So we did a crash course in halter training and got the bull back over here safe and sound where he belongs. Sorry I didn't take you along for that on the camera. It sort of happened all pretty quickly. We were actually in town at church when he got out and got the call, so we hustled back. And you'll also see Soji has a halter on. She is going tomorrow to Sturgis for processing. Soji has lived her life out here on the homestead, and she's done wonderful things for us. She gave us both of our other cows, but now it's time for Soji to get some rest. She's blind in both eyes. It's just not safe to keep her trekking around the homestead. So tomorrow she gets... Soji, you want some cake? Some cake? Good girl. Yeah, good girl. You'll also see I tried to fix up the feeder a little bit yesterday because yesterday morning Betsy was inside of the feeder, so I put those slant bars on there. I'm gonna have to do something better when we get a little bit better weather. Raise that 4x4 up, put another one across the bottom, and put probably at least 2x2s as slants, but we'll have to do that when the weather gets better. Right now it's just muddy and cold, as you can see. If we do a little turning around here, we are just getting over a couple days where the temps were -20 to even -35 with the wind chill the one night. We got dumped on with about 14 inches of snow. Today's not too bad. We're up at about 40. So I'm gonna try and get a few things done. We got all the cows back in here. I'm gonna try and secure this gate in a little bit better so that they can't push it out anymore. And then I got the trailer out from where it sits. It was, the truck got stuck in there once. I had to go and plow some more with the tractor, and I got that unstuck, but that's up by the house now for tomorrow. We're gonna put those boards in between the horses, and I'm hoping today we're gonna get our grain bin with the IBC tote built, or at least most of the way built. So join us on the Rustic Hills Homestead. I know that's a long intro. We're gonna get some stuff done today, despite the fact that our day kind of got thrown into complete chaos. Kind of fighting a cold today, guys, so if I'm not talking a lot and I fast forward through some of this, please excuse me. I just I have a sore throat. Kind of hurts to talk. One thing I'll say is these brackets that I'm using I really like. Unfortunately, even 16-foot long stock isn't quite long enough to go all the way from one end to the other in these stalls. So I'm kind of bolstering the bracket on top of the old brackets that I built. All right, now we're gonna get our flashing installed. So the way that we do this little lip right here will sit to the outside. I'm gonna put it towards Roxy's pen because I'm pretty sure she's the culprit. Yes, I know that it is bent. Like I said in the other video, I went to Home Depot and it was on the shelf bent. So when I got to the checkout, I said, is there any way I can get anything off for this since it's bent? and they gave me a little bit of a discount. My thought is, since it's going in a horse barn, that little bend isn't going to make very much difference. Good. I might go back and put 2 more on either side of that, just because it feels a little loose, and I know these horses are bound and determined to destroy everything. So hopefully now you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Tried to move it so it wouldn't fall down again. So the way these brackets work is, it's like a U that holds the 2x whatever in, and then you fire a couple screws through the sides. There's some pre-made slots for the screw to go through. It catches the wood and it kind of locks it in place. Alright, and let's put one more up. I think the main question here is going to be whether or not the new lumber I bought is going to be long enough. Because like I mentioned, stock 16 foot, which is actually a little less than 16 foot as we all know, doesn't quite get us to where we want to be. I'm telling you guys, this cold is kicking my butt. I don't generally get them, but when I get them, oh man, I'm sure all the wives out there that are watching think, oh, just another man cold. And maybe you're right. Doesn't feel good though, I'll tell you that. But guys, be nice to your wives when they're sick, because eventually you will get sick. There you go. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect. You have to get some more flashing for these two if it becomes a problem. Next time I'm in town, I'll probably pick it up. It's not terribly expensive, and it's good insurance. I think that looks a lot better. What do you guys think? Leave comments. YouTube likes to see that there's interaction on the channel. I like to see that there's interaction on the channel. Your comments are appreciated. Please be kind. I'm no expert. A lot of this is a city boy trying to make a better life homesteading, and I'm taking you along. If you get some great ideas out of this, or even if you learn how not to do something, you know, then I guess I've done what I've tried to do. I've said it before, a lot of the things that I've learned about homesteading, I've gotten off of YouTube, and it's not necessarily that I took exactly what the other guy was doing, but I looked at it and I said, well, how can I apply that to what I'm doing, or how would that work for me, and then I modified it. So, I mean, that's really the purpose of my channel, is just to show what a city boy can do when he sets his mind to it. Anyway, please leave comments. If you like the videos, like them, subscribe, and let's get some more work done, eh? So earlier I had mentioned that the weather's been bad and everything's getting stuck, and we do a lot of plowing. Yesterday, the FedEx guy dropped off the part that I need to make this grain bin that we're gonna make, and not sure why, but when he left the house, he made a wrong turn and came down the barn road. This is the barn road, right? And you see that incline where it kind of drops off and goes towards the pond? He managed to get his front driver's side tire over that incline, and then we had to work to get him out and back out to the road where he could exit the property. So yeah, I mean, it's just, the weather has not been kind to us the last week or so. And, you know, I say that you gotta take it with a grain of salt. On one hand, we definitely need the moisture. So when this snow melts and fills the pond and all the streams and the grass grows real nice this summer, we'll be grateful for it. But it's hard to get through sometimes, you know. One thing about Wyoming, it's hard living. It's satisfying, and you feel like you've accomplished something, but it's hard and it'll wear you out sometimes. So anyway, let's head back up to the house and see if we can get started on this grain bin project. All right, so now we're gonna work on making our bulk feeder for chicken and hog feed. I'm gonna do one at a time. I have another one waiting in the wings over there, but I wanna make sure that this one turns out right first before I just go plunging ahead. So we're gonna take this top cage off. We're gonna take the plastic out. We're gonna cut our hole for the door into the plastic, and we're also going to cut out the part of the cage here that's gonna be in the way of our door. So I've got the air compressor on. I'm sorry about the noise, but that'll let us cut through that metal cage. And then before we put the plastic back in, I'm gonna take this down to the car wash and give it a good scrub. Let's get started on assembling our bulk chicken feed holder and see how well this is gonna work out for us. I think this could end up saving us quite a bit of time and energy. So join us on the Rustic Hills Homestead as we make a bulk feed tote. I've got the camera zoomed in pretty well. Got the appropriate bit on my drill. We're going to take these star tool screws out on both sides so that we can take out these braces and get the plastic bin straight out of there, out of our way, so we can work on it separately from the cage. think I'm going to cut the cage out first because that is really loud, and I'm sure it's probably not great on video either. That's off. Now we can turn off the air compressor. Good, so we're done with that air compressor noise. We've got the part of our cage knocked out where we're going to be able to put our door. So then we want to bring the IBC tote over. And measure out where our door is going to go. The one downside I can see to these IBC totes, and I've been looking at them a lot for doing this, they curve at the bottom. When you're putting grain in, so a couple of issues. So when you're putting grain in, you want as much to come out when you're done as possible, right? So there's always going to be a little bit in there, and it's flat along the bottom. It's not curved in towards the chute. I was trying to think of a way I could put an insert, but number one, that takes up more space. So the whole point of this thing is to put everything in one space rather than a bunch of 55-gallon drums. And the other problem with that is just putting it in there. So I'm not sure I could devise anything that I could fit in there through the holes that I'm going to cut in it. But I'm going to keep thinking about it. I'm sure somebody out there has figured something out, and I'll keep doing research. But in the meantime, this is our door. As you can see it, once I put the screws in, it'll raise and lower. And I just need to mark where the holes are going to be for the screws and where I want the opening for the door. I'm going to do something a little different than anything else I've seen on YouTube. When I cut it, I'm going to cut a V into the bottom here so that grain kind of pours out into a bucket nice and neatly. That way I don't have to worry about, just excess spillage. And the whole point of this thing, aside from keeping everything in one place, is to decrease waste. So we're going to try that and see how well that works. 15, that's pretty good. 2 inches. Opening the door. Opening, go here. Now we're gonna drill the holes first. Put a hole big enough so I can get my saw blade through. about here. Perfect. Now here's going to be the trick, is doing this without having the plastic jumping all over the place.